how to make my dog grow bigger, or how to make my dog bigger. You see, by the way, this is Hera. Hera is she's a pedigree German Shepherd dog. She's uh, 4 years plus, and she's out of Baxter and Aurora Grandiose. Now let's get back to our topic. How to make your dog grow bigger. The first question you need to ask yourself is, who is my dog? Or what is the genetic makeup of my dog? See, this is a GSD, but trust me, a lot of people want the GSD to grow as big as a Caucasian Shepherd dog. They are obviously not on the same size. They are not the same size. This breed you see here is a medium-sized dog breed, not large, medium-sized. That's what the breed standard says, medium-sized. Anything big or bigger than this is a disqualifying factor. You're no longer having the German Shepherd dog with you. So one, consider the genetics. The second thing you need to look out for, like I said, the environment. The environment includes the owner, the feed, the exercises, training, the where the dog stays, and so on. So let's say the dog came out of good parents, but the dog is not performing well. Then what do you need to do? Increase or work on the feeding of that dog. Make sure the feed you're giving is rich in protein. A lot of people will recommend the 20, 25, but I would say from 25 to 30 is fair enough. Although some persons like to go for food or 35%, 40%, or 32, 33, 34 and above. But the problem with giving a lot of protein is that the feed, the muscles or the body becomes very big and the bone becomes thinner, which can be very detrimental to the dog's growth. You understand? So you need to be very, very careful, and that is why a lot of people would recommend dog food brands like Royal Canine and so on, because these dog food brands are actually very rich in protein. So if you want to make your dog grow bigger, the genetics is one, two is feeding. Give them food rich in protein, good fats, and some other supplements like the probiotics, zinc, calcium, omega 3, omega 6, and so on. Carb is also good, but make sure it is not grain carb. I don't recommend grains. And also you need to also consider the kind of protein that your dog is that is in that food. I don't recommend soybean, although soy is a very good source of protein, but then there are other sources of protein like lamb, chicken, rabbit, beef that is very good. So you may want to go for animal based protein instead of plant based protein, because you know these dogs are actually carnivorous animals. It's just that we humans are, have been trying to condition them in our own way to make them omnivorous animals, but they are built differently. So you don't want to force these things. The better option would be animal based nutrients. They digest it better than plant-based nutrients. You understand? Now you also need to consider exercise. You feed them to develop their bones and structures to get their feet stronger. That is very important. And you work with your training, stimulate them mentally and so on. Let them be a complete package. And also you need to also know that the size of dog is not a trigger to a dog becoming better. It is not. You can have a fat idiot in your compound and you call it a dog. But you can have a Lhasa Apso, as small as a Lhasa Apso, that will guard your compound, your premises, alert you at the slightest noise. Yes. That is very true. So stop going for size because you're looking out for, oh, my dear, its size is no. If you need a large breed or a very big dog breed, you go for the Caucasian Shepherd dog breed. They are very large. You go for the Boerboel dog breed or the South African Mastiff, a very good option. You can also consider the Great Dane, although they may not be very good security dog, but if you're looking for size, the Caucasian Shepherd dog, the South African Mastiff, the Great Dane, the Neapolitan Mastiff, the Kangaroo, and so on. There are lots of large breeds of dogs that you can always go for. Don't go get a small dog and start looking for what to feed that dog to be as big as what that dog is not supposed to be or was created to be. That way you destroy the dog eventually. Yes, that is what happens. So if you want to get a large or a very big dog, go for a large or a very big dog breed. I just mentioned a few of them. And if you want to make your dog grow bigger, always look out for factors outside just feeding them. Genetics is the most important thing you look out for. If it's not there, it's not there. You can't make two giants to give birth to dwarfs, and you can't make two dwarfs to give birth to giants. If it's not in their gene, it's not there. But if it's there, then there is a possibility they can throw something like that. To always consider the genetics of your dog first before you push to make your dog grow bigger. And after that, you look out for the environment, the feeding, make sure they are coming out from good and clean and safe sources. If you're feeding raw, make sure what you're giving to your dogs are neat, clean, and can be trusted so you don't infect your dog. And if you're feeding kibbles, make sure you're giving your dog kibbles that do not have a lot of preservatives. Preservatives are not so much, they are not good for the dogs. So avoid preservatives and make sure they have the right protein in your dog. I recommend from 28% protein to 30. Let's say 30. Yeah, some people will say 2-3, but 32-3. But let's just leave it at 30. And maybe you can add some um maybe egg, one or two, to the kibbles, because the kibble is more like a balanced diet for dogs. But if you're feeding raw, you may want to add carb, maybe rice, you add raw chicken, vegetable, and so on. But kibble is a complete package. So always and always look out for this. And I'm very sure you'll be fine. Thank you. Remember, I'm here for all your questions, especially if you're in Africa. I'm here to make you a better dog owner, a better dog breeder, a better dog trainer. And trust me, I'll be glad to get your questions and we'll be glad to answer them too. So I'll see you next time. Thank you.